Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I got something kind of cool for you, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing. You can come on out. You're going to be on today. So, anyway, that's Rachel, the wife. We're going to be running errands today, seeing if we can get the Polestar 2 from 90% to 10%. Well, we're just going to drive, if we have to, afterwards, around town to get down to 10%. Then we're going to go to a DC fast charger in Electrify America to charge it back up. And we'll see if our 30 minutes free works from Volvo/Polestar, and then we'll pay for the rest, just to get it from that 10 to 80% again. So with that being said, let's get started. 90%. Yeah, 210 expected miles of range. We've got 1336 on the car, and our automatic trip is 0 miles so far. We're gonna start that and hopefully see where we end up. So we're at 1323 on the manual trip with 42.6 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. Yeah, we'll get it started. After making a quick stop at one of our friends' houses that was sort of along the way to our first stop here at Walgreens, we're at 79% and 40.8 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. Walgreens is cool because they have a little charger. I don't know what brand, and I don't think it's free, but it's still pretty cool. Yeah, so we're using a bit of power, and I've been watching the range assistant, and honestly, like when we're taking off and getting going, we're up in like the 60s and 70s kilowatt hour per 100 miles. But once we settle into like 35 to 60 miles an hour, it comes down to the 30s. So I think it's just going to be an overall average calculation. Anybody that's really concerned with like immediate power consumption is really going to have to kind of put that behind them so they don't worry or get, I don't know the word, not worry, but yeah,
anxious,
yeah, annoyed, or I don't know, anal about something. So if you just focus on averages of your total trip, I think that's probably the better way to go. We'll be getting on the highway a little later to actually run this thing down to 10%, because we're not going to be able to do it with all of these. You know, our afternoon's going to be full with these errands, but we're still not going to really get below 50%. If we just went to these places and then went home, I think Google's estimating that we would be at like 71% or so, because it's all kind of in the same area. So we're going to get up at highway speeds after these errands and basically do like 60 to 100 miles to really run the battery down. I think that's what it's going to end up taking. So we'll check back in once we've finished some more errands and we start doing the real electricity burn. So we couldn't make it the whole afternoon without getting lunch, so we got steak crunch wrap supremes. Yeah, big sissies basically. We started way too late, and it's gonna go into this evening because we're only at 78%. We just finished up with Walgreens. Now we're sitting in a church parking lot. All right, well, we're starting our little highway journey. We're basically getting on we are getting on the 470 Turnpike, the toll road that goes around Denver. And we're going to be going about 80 to 85 miles an hour, depending on, depending on traffic and things like that. And obviously, if I get caught by the police. So, yeah, great. Nobody wants to get caught by the police, though. So, yeah. Anyway, we're maintaining all speed limits. Maybe. So we're starting around Smoky Hill in Denver. We've already gone 21.5 miles today. So we haven't really gone too far, and we have not used much juice. The winds are really picked up. They've picked up this afternoon. So I think it's probably going, I don't know, what is this, 10 to 15 miles an hour. And we've got this weird cross headwind thing depending on which way we're going on the highway. So right now we're just heading west on 470, and we're gonna keep that up until yeah, until we get to I don't know, a state of charge that's acceptable. The view's great, so we'll turn you around. We'll get you. So at 80 miles an hour, we're using 46 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. Right now that we've got behind this this Ford, we're getting down to 40. We might hit 38, so I think I don't really need my seat heater or steering wheel. I don't know why that isn't on again. It's not cold outside. It says it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit, but the real temperature is probably more like 60 degrees in the sun, so it is deceptive here in the mountains. Alright, now that they're out of the way, we're going to pick it up to 85 until we get to where the speed limit goes down to 65. Then we'll probably be doing 70. And we'll do a little bit of mountain roads driving as well. We'll see what it is. But right now, going 85 with this atrocious wind, we're using 56, 57 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. Not great. So you definitely don't want to be sustaining 85 miles an hour on a long drive. In a future video, I will be doing solely highway driving as a range test. I'm going to try to do 90% or 100% to 10% and see what we can squeeze out of this thing. So that will probably be a Silverthorne, Colorado trip. So we'll be driving from East Aurora to Silverthorne, Colorado, which is about 90 to 95 miles from our house. So that'll be a there and back kind of trip, hopefully. Fingers crossed that it doesn't use too much electricity and I get stranded. Because there's about a 60-mile gap in between chargers. Alright, we'll catch back up with you guys once we've used some power. So hopefully you guys can see this view. It's another quick check-in. If you turn it by this here. Just a little bit. Okay. So right now we're approaching the Hogbacks, which is the first portion of the foothills to the Rocky Mountains from south of Denver. And 75 seems to be like the fastest you would want to go on a trip, because our instant consumption is down to about, 25 to 35 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. And that's with the ups and downs, the small hills on the road. So it is bringing our average kilowatt hours per 100 miles for this trip down fairly quickly. And I think that's the sweet spot. Anything faster than 75, your drag starts increasing really, really bad. And it does not like that. We are also running on winter tires, so that's another detractor to increased range. But we're able to get a pretty clean run using the express lane on 470. And we have a fantastic view today. Hopefully it looks good or comes out great in the video. I know that's difficult to do with such a small sensor in these cameras, but it does look good. And our adaptive cruise control in the pilot package is also pretty nice. It has some problems with lane transitions, like here how it's gonna go from merging lane onto the express lane. It's gonna want to pull right because there's no white stripes, but it will come over to the right and then it'll find its way again and center itself. So it's just one of those things. You don't want to completely take your eyes off the road, and you do want to pay attention. But we are finally below 40 kilowatt hours per 100 miles on our average for the automatic trip meter. We'll check back in once we get a little lower, and we're 67% state of charge. Pedal, biker, pedal. Share the road. This is Valley Road. Hog back to the left, or the east. Foothills to the west. See that building there?
Yeah.
It's Lockheed Martin.
Oh, cool.
Nice little South Valley Park. It's a cool little trail down here. Little trails. Volvo wave with other Volvos?
What's the Volvo the V?
I don't know. Or is it like the docking? Like where you're like, oh.
I don't think it's the docking V.
I don't know. Yeah, so when we come around this corner, look back that way, and you'll see the Lockheed building. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's huge. Lockheed Martin.
Huh.
Very cool, huh?
Yes.
Give it some beans.
That car was drive safe.
What was drive safe?
He had the logo drive safe on it.
What's the logo
I
drive
don't
safe?
know. It just said drive safe.
Oh, I am driving safe. Gotta watch out for bikers. this is a nice road for the standard regenerative one pedal drive braking thing in the Polestar.
Bright as fuck.
Bright as fuck, boy. Rumble strip. Stay awake. So viewers, this isn't really a highway driving range test. This is more of an everyday weekend drive, you know, run your errands, come up to the mountains, have a little fun, just going to do some stuff range test. We are going a bit excessive, but this drive is not beyond what we would do on a weekend. But you know, doing it until we get down to 10%, so we can give you the feedback on the charge as well. That is something probably out of the ordinary. Normally we would just go home and plug it in, because we would be done with our drive and our trip well before 10%. We'd probably end up at around 25 to 35% at the end of a day like this. So we really, with this size of battery, with I think we're at 9 kilowatt hours or 9 kilowatts with our charger. We do have a 50 amp with 40 amps nominal for the built-in charger here on the Polestar. So it's, you know, it charges the car fine at home. We wouldn't have to use DC charging ever, really, if we just stick to this kind of driving around town here in the mountains, you know, short 100-mile jaunts or even 200-mile jaunts, because overnight, the way it works here in Denver with Excel Energy, you can charge from 12:30 in the morning till I think it's 9:30 in the morning. So you get what is that, 10 hours? 10, 11, 12? No, it's 9 hours of charging, and that at 9 kilowatts, that would charge this car in, yeah, like 8 hours, I think. What is 76 divided by 9, Rachel?
Let me get out the handy dandy calculator.
I know my brain isn't the calculator that we need right
76
now.
divided by 9.
Yeah.
8.44444444.
So even if we went to 0% and we got home, we could charge the car in, what was it?
8.4 hours.
8.4 hours from 0% on a level 2 charger that is included with your Polestar. If you have a 50 amp 14-50, yeah, we're gonna take South Deer Creek. If you have a 14-50 plug on your wall with a 50 amp breaker, which it'll allow you to use 40 amps with the car instead of the full 48. You'd have to have a 60 amp outlet and breaker for the full 48 amps. So It's definitely a nice to have, but the car does come with that charger. So really, our house had we didn't have to install it; it was already there. So that's what we use. Eventually, we will be getting a ChargePoint level 2 charger for the house, but that's only because Excel gives us a break on the rates for charging your car during those hours even further. So it goes down to like 2.5 cents a kilowatt hour, or per kilowatt. So that's kind of nice. But you have to have the ChargePoint home charger, or ChargePoint home, and you have to, register through Excel Energy. Good thing this truck's in front of us, Rachel. We'd be doing some additional spirited driving if they weren't.
Yeah.
But the winter tires do not hold up well to hard cornering in these kinds of conditions. They're a bit roly-poly. They're not as stiff as you would want. The tread wear is a little higher, so they just don't grip once they warm up. When it's cold, it's fine, but when it's warm, which it's actually cooling off now because we're in the shade, but yeah, they're not as stiff as you would want. All right, going to Homewood. Look at these houses. These are beautiful. The house there is absolutely phenomenal.
It's probably $1 million house.
$6 million. Maybe not that much, but
Probably like 1.2.
right. Could you imagine living back here and it's snowing 10 inches and you wouldn't be able to get out of your house for a couple days?
That'd be wonderful.
It would. One day. As for now, we still have to work, so that's what we will do. Yes, we work for the viewers like you, so we can bring you more videos and also afford cool cars like this that we can take out, drive, and enjoy on the weekends or during the week. I'm sure you enjoy driving it to work, don't you?
It's very nice.
Yes, this is what I thought.
Get some head turns.
Yep. Oh yeah, we were at a stoplight before we got on this back road, this mountain road, and a couple people in an Audi S7, they snapped their necks trying to get a good little peekaboo at the old Polestar 2 here.
Oh, that's a beautiful house.
It is.
With a barn.
Whoa.
2 tires in, it's legal.
Yep. I don't know if the cops would think the same way as the FIA, but... And I'm also a little old for Formula One, I believe.
I mean, look at Iceman, look at...
I'm not no Sebastian Vettel, so...
Or Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen's older than Vettel.
Yeah, but he's retired now.
Well, I mean, it's Iceman.
I think I'm a little younger. No, I'm a little older than...
Vettel? Vettel's 34.
Look at that milk horse.
It's not a milk horse, it's a paint.
These tires are very, very just non-compliant to the road, but they're comfortable. This car, when you have these winter tires on, you really, really get a feel for how heavy it is. 5,500 pounds without passengers and cargo. This thing, it is not light by any stretch of the word. Another Jeep that's terrible in the snow.
Just stuck there.
Yep. So shout out to my buddy Chris. He's got a Jeep. It's terrible in the snow. Alright, so do we continue with mountain driving or do we get back on? We'll head back to a regular road and get some nominal electricity usage. Leave it this way. Leave it this way until we get on the highway. This is a pretty drive. What was that? Was that a deer with wings?
No, what you see?
That sign was a deer with wings.
It could be a Pegasus.
That's a mythical creature. Is this the land of mythical creature crossings?
We are in the wilderness where things can happen.
I don't know if I'd call this the wilderness. People live here. They have garages and stuff.
Mountain people have garages, babe.
I didn't even think they could speak English.
What do you think? They just communicate by clicking sounds?
No, they scream. Ah! Like that.
Chewbacca?
Yeah. That's not a slight towards mountain people. I love mountain people. I wish there was one. Unfortunately, we live out in the flatlands, not in the mountains. Yeah.
We get more grief than mountain people.
I think they just get to ignore people out here because in the wintertime they can't get anywhere.
Yeah, because people are gross.
What?
That's why I'm in vet med.
Well, dogs, cats, and animals are gross too.
Yeah, but people are grosser.
More gross? Grosser?
More gross?
I don't know.
Grosser?
No idea. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct us.
Such a hard language.
Yeah, eventually someone's gonna come along that's a punctuation Nazi.
Excuse me.
It's there, not there.
I mean,
What? Alright, so we're gonna take 285 back in.
so did we just make a big circle?
This will come out at the north end of the west side of 470.
Gotcha. West Ranch. I guess there's an East Ranch.
Probably. Turkey Creek. I wonder why it's called Turkey Creek.
Music and dance. Oh, look at the little bobcat. Look at that little thing.
Mm-hmm. Gotta clear his roads.
West Ranch Dental. Twin Forks Tavern. Tesla.
Mm-hmm. Model S. Right. Good old 285.
Like a glove.
Mm-hmm. You gotta accelerate. You gotta merge onto the highway like you're supposed to merge onto the highway. You can't be going 45 and expect to get over. All right, so we are at 52% state of charge. We are also 72 miles into our journey. We're averaging 36.8 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. We have been through stop and go traffic. We have gone through a small mountain back road, and our average speed's been 25 miles per hour. So it's not super high, right? So we're still continuing on our journey. But as it goes, Rachel brought up something very interesting. About a week and a half ago, Rachel had some range anxiety going to work. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that and how that started?
Yeah, so about a week ago, like I was saying, I plugged in the car from my normal day of driving, got home at my normal time, plugged in the car. For some reason, it didn't charge fully, and it didn't charge at all. And we're still trying to investigate for whatever reason why it didn't charge. So I had made it back home that night with probably like 47% left.
And this is after charging, so we charge to 90% every night.
Yeah. And so I got in, I was like, it didn't charge. What am I going to do? And so, you know, I work about 35 miles from the house, and I knew I had other activities in the evening that I wanted to go out to one of our mutual friends' birthday party, but the closest DC charging was about 25 minutes from my work, and I only have an hour lunch. So I wasn't really optimal to go charge 5 minutes and then turn around and have to go back. So on my way home, that morning, I didn't drive any differently going to work. I had eco climate control on. I still had my seat warmer and my steering wheel on.
Did you mention, so her commute is about 62 miles?
Yeah, round trip. I say about 35 miles one way.
Okay.
So didn't drive any differently going to work. I always have my seat warmer on my heater steering wheel during the winter. And
did you mention how cold it was? This was a rather cold day, right? So
yeah, it was a cold day. It was probably about 20 something degrees in the morning.
After the car sitting at her job, so she left at 90%. The car was preheated, the battery was preheated, as Polestar does automatically when you charge to 90 or 100%, or when you have that set, you know. So as it approaches 90%, it'll preheat the battery, precondition it. But for her, going to work and sitting there for 10 hours
roughly,
in 20-degree weather, so that everything was cold. I mean, this car was probably sucking down electrons like it was water walking through the Sahara.
Yeah, so I went to work with about 47% battery power. Drove to work just fine. It uses up about 20 to 25%, depending on how aggressive you are when you drive. And I drove about normal, and got there with about 22% left, and couldn't go to a DC charging station, so I decided that we're just gonna go home and call it good. Google Maps, if you search, you know, your destination, it'll give you a percentage of what you should arrive with. It had projected about 5 to 6% left from leaving work, with about 22% left. I got back, didn't change any way I drove. I still had climate control and eco, steering wheel was heated, seats were heated.
What temperature were you on for
I
climate control?
believe I was at 70. Maybe I bumped it up to 72 once I got a little closer to home.
So comfortable.
It was very comfortable.
She was not trying to freeze her buns off.
No.
On a hour-long, 45 minutes, hour-long drive home.
Yeah, in traffic, during rush hour traffic on 470. So I made it home with 10% left, and I was really surprised. I was like, okay, so knowing that and getting through that first initial anxiety, if I had a charging station closer to work, I would have just ran over there during work and not even worry about it. But with this being my first time driving an EV, it was stressful for me. I didn't know the limits of the car, and I didn't know, when it was time to, the oh shit moment. But with it going down to 10%, and I was literally pulling in the driveway, I felt confident enough to where I could go run errands all day and not worry about charging. Because we're at 50% now, and it's done amazing. I'm not worried at all. I've been doing errands on my days off from work, and I only use about maybe 30% from the 90 that we charge to.
Yeah.
For errands.
So now that you know, in the dead of winter, really just a normal winter for Colorado, in the 20s, not the optimal conditions for any electric vehicle to be operating in. Cold, winter tires on the car, doing highway speeds north of 65 to 85 miles an hour. Now with you, in your case, you don't have to worry about making it to and from work. Like, you can go 2 days. You can forget to plug it in one night and still get to work.
Absolutely.
Or I think, you know, the issue with us is when we plug it in, sometimes we're not used to having to plug it in, hold it, and wait for the contactors or the leads of the charger. Like when you plug it into the car, it actually pushes the prongs into the charger from the car, and it locks it into place, I think, right? I think that's how it works. I'm going to have to look at some maintenance diagrams or something. But that, you just got to be really careful when you plug it in, that you're not just popping it in and walking away. You've got to plug it in and deliberately wait for the car basically to confirm that it's ready to go, and that it will start charging when the timer is set for it to start charging.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, even if it was like, oh, day 2, and then it didn't charge that night again, well, we do have another car, or, you know, 10% would have gotten her to the DC fast charger on the way to work, right? Yeah. So plenty of range in our case, being in a city with, you know, Electrify America chargers. We have 150 kilowatt hour and 350 kilowatt hour chargers, you know, sprinkled throughout the city. And it's convenient, right? Like, I mean, there's Colorado, especially Denver. This is little California as far as like EV numbers goes. You know, maybe there's another city ahead of it, but the number of Teslas here is a pretty fat percentage. So, you know, they've got their own charging network, but the other EVs that are coming out, and, you know, Electrify America's infrastructure, it is getting really good here. And that's kind of what our goal is today, is to show that, you know, you can go on an all-day, literally an all-day trek, and we have to try. We're literally trying to drain this battery down. I don't think anybody in a normal day drives this much just running errands, right? We are purposefully going out, and I'm sure if we wanted to stretch it, we're going out with some friends later tonight. When we get down to 10%, we would be able to go where we're wanting to go with them and make it home and charge it home. So I think that's a good little story, and I'm glad that you didn't get caught with your ass out in the cold. That would have, you know, it just would have been a pain. Yeah, well,
because right now what happens is you get stranded. You have to call literally a tow truck to come tow you to the nearest charging station or to your house.
Right.
So I'm glad it didn't happen. Now that that's happened, I am fairly confident driving it to the limits, and not get anxiety about it.
And even so, you know, to the limits is, I mean, right now I gotta pee, and we're at 50%, 49% battery. So, you know, I'm reaching my limits before the car is.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I've mentioned that in a couple other videos. But, you know, roast Cody for his tiny bladder size down in the comments. So I think we're going to, you know, fast forward in the video. We're gonna stop, and I've got to pee and get some dip, some nicotine,
energy
an energy drink.
Not the car.
Yeah, and then we're gonna continue on the road to get this thing down to 10%. So fortunately, we've only got 40 more percent to go.
49.
Yeah. So
well, to 10%.
Right. Well, everyone, the sun's getting pretty low, big guy. Yep. Shut up, baby Hulk. I mean, don't turn green and eat me. I know, we've got to go eat. My phone's trying to fucking wireless charge and charge on the cord at the same time. Who knows? But we're only at 31% state of charge. And it's 17:30. We started this journey at 12:30, 1300, something like that. So, a while back. And you don't really burn any electricity. You're using electricity when you're sitting still waiting at Walgreens for an hour. So, yeah, so really we've been going 4 hours, 4 hours or so. Car says we have like 70 to 75 miles left to zero. We're gonna run this thing to as close to 10% as possible, but I don't think we're gonna get all the way there. We might get into the teens, but just for brevity's sake, whenever we do get to the charger, we are going to call it good, right? Because going to 10, like we're gonna be driving around for another 2 hours if we go all the way to 10% or less. Like It is actually difficult to get to 10% unless you are cruising at highway speeds, 75 or higher.
Yeah.
Or even, I mean, I guess 65 would also, do it. But we're going 65 now, and we're only using 20 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, and our average is slowly going down. And we're at 35.3 kilowatt hours per 100 mile for this trip. We have gone 120 and a half miles, 35.3 kilowatt hours per 100, 4 hours, okay, so 4 hours and 3 minutes, 30 miles per hour is the average speed. So the speed is increasing, but yeah, I mean, it's almost getting ridiculous because we're actually having to try now to run it out of energy. So
we're out on the plains outside of.
Yeah, we're Kiowa, Colorado is where we're at. We haven't strayed too far from the house, but we're within enough. 60 miles, and we've basically circled Denver today.
Besides up north, we didn't go up north. Did
yeah, we? Traffic
is crazy up there.
And we would still be at like 40% because we wouldn't be moving. So yeah, we're getting there. But we'll get to this fast charger. We'll give you a final update before we give some charging impressions or the information on well, this is our second DC fast charge, but it's our first DC fast charge with the Polestar 2, yeah. The free 30 minutes of electrified. And we're back. So we filled up the SD card on the GoPro. Well, we have found the limits of the... Oh, no, we have not. Oh, man. I did that corner. Okay. All right. We've found somewhat of a limitation of the pilot assist system in the Polestar 2. And once we have some more experience with it, we'll put some stuff out on that. But right now, I think where we left off is we're driving from Kiowa to Bennett, Colorado to Southlands, which is southeast of Denver, to get to the charger. And we'll probably get there around 18 or 19% state of charge on the battery. So,
turn.
No.
Oh.
It's the whole road.
It's the whole road. That's weird.
So, yeah. So we'll get to the Electrify America stations with 18 or 19% of the battery. Let's see what Google says right now. It says 19%, which we might actually end up with more there. And if we do, I don't know, we'll just call it a day there, because we've been at this for 4.5 hours now. Now that we've got the 4 hours 15 minutes. Now that we got the battery changed in the GoPro, battery change, SD card changed. Anyway, yeah, what a day. Long little trip. We're down to 34.7 kilowatt hours, 100 miles. This traveling at 60 miles an hour is like the sweet spot for this car on kilowatt hour usage. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're enjoying it. We're just we're ready to get our actual chores done for the day, because we still have to go to the grocery store after we charge. But yeah, not really much more to say now. The next portion you'll see is our final stop at the charging station, the Electrify America charging station at the Walmart. Sam's Club, Walmart.
Same.
Yep. Same company. But yeah, we'll fill you guys in on what we're ending at here in just a few minutes. so we are coming into the Electrify America station number. Rachel, can you read that off?
210137.
Yes, and it is in a Walmart / Sam's Club parking lot, like many of these. And we've got quite a few open. You'll see their bright green neon lights here in a moment. Ooh. Alright, since nobody can make up their minds and drive somewhat safe, I'll be the crazy one. Oh yeah, here they are. Electrify America. Alright, so we're gonna choose a better one for the car, which is left side, right? So we want, boom, this one right here. Alright, ooh, that green looks so good. It makes my skin look so alien. And
You are an alien.
And Rachel, look at that. So, we're at the Electrify America charging station. Basically, all these chargers are empty. I've used this once before. An ID4 pulled up. I think that video might go up before this. I don't know. I've got so much damn footage. It's tough to get it all out there in time for you guys. But this one does have a CHAdeMO, a couple CHAdeMO connectors, I believe. Maybe just one on the far end over there. But we are at 17%, and let me show you guys. All right, 17%, 149.8 miles, 35.5 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, 4 hours and 40 minutes, average speed 32 miles an hour. It brought down our overall consumption from the trip manual to 41.9 kilowatt hours per 100. We're getting there on getting the most efficiency out of this. But yeah, as you can see here, 17%, estimated 40 miles of range left, which is probably true. Temperature has dropped a bit. It's 38 degrees. And over here, the range assistant says we got about 30 miles left, but also, you know, people see this number, but the arrow on this left side, it's a range between 25 and 45 miles, so it's up there towards 45 miles with us just rolling into this EA station. And just sitting here, we're using, you know, 6 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, so nothing crazy. We were pretty efficient. All the settings have stayed the same, eco climate, and 68 degrees Fahrenheit with AC and heater on, and everything else set to auto and medium fan settings. And our seat heaters and steering wheel heaters have been off since an hour into the trip.
Yeah.
So we're going to get plugged in, and we'll show you that process and the charging speeds. I'm not doing it, Rachel's doing it. But look at that, plug in first, right? So you gotta pick one of the chargers, and they're both 150 kilowatt hour chargers, or 150 kilowatt chargers. We're gonna select the far one, which is dispenser 2.
Dispenser 1.
Plug 1. Dispenser 2. Plug 1. So this big, yeah, see, it's
It is quite heavy.
yeah, it's a big cable here. Yeah, there you
There we go.
All right, so see, look, that's a big old connector. Ugh. And then she's just gonna plug it into here.
It's like an anaconda.
Oh, that's weird. Your anaconda dome. Yep, remove your cover. You gotta get it. Press and hold. All right, there you go. Connecting to vehicle over here.
Okay.
And then all you gotta do is just put your phone up against that.
Oh.
All right, after some difficulty, we had to completely close out of the EA app. Now we'll select dispenser 2. And then up here at the top, you can see that it says the plan we're on, which is the Polestar 2 charging plan. And now you'll swipe to start charge. And it's initiating charging. You cold?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little cold, isn't it?
The wind.
Please don't error out. There it goes. So, Polestar 2 charging plan, that's all you gotta do. You select continue here. And this is the details of the session. So, 30 minutes of DC fast charge or 60 minutes level 2. And then after the included charging session continues, it'll be uninterrupted, and then it's gonna charge us 43 cents a kilowatt hour. We'll stop at 30 minutes and then continue with our plus plan, which is 31 cents a kilowatt hour. So we're gonna continue. And there we go, 17%, and it's ramping up, and we'll continue this in the car. All right, we're already at 20%. We started at 17%, and it ramped up to 150 kilowatts. Super quick. We're running 369 amps at 406 volts. So, and it's expected to be at 90% at 1902. And it is, what is that? 1818. So 45 minutes essentially to 90%. I don't think we need 90%. Let's go to 80%. And then it will change its little thing there. Oh, we're getting 155 kilowatts. That's high. So we'll see how long it stays there. Oh, I need to put a mount right here. 1848 is our 80% expectation now, which is actually pretty good.
My phone is now reading 175 kilowatts.
Oh, really?
Charging speed.
All right, so the phone, if you hold that, Rachel, the phone is saying, can you open up the big view?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. The phone is saying
Right there.
155 kilowatts. It did get up to 175, but that could be for climate control and other usage, cooling. On the app, we're only showing 155 kilowatts. It did jump up to 175 there for a second. It's also a little bit behind, so now it updated to what it was just a few minutes ago, and look at that, it says 175 kilowatts. I don't know where that power is going. Maybe into the car. If it is, that's pretty dope. But it's outputting 175, and the car says we're getting 147. These are the charging costs, but it is the Polestar 2 charging plan. First 30 minutes will be free, and then it's going to charge you 43 cents per kilowatt after that. We got our first drop at around 30% from 150 kilowatts to around 136. We're approaching 35% state of charge. Anyway, we'll check back in at around 50% or so to see where the charging info and charging speed is at. Alrighty then. We just finished. We got to 80%. Oh, looky there, looky there, looky there. 80% done. Everything's unlocked. Was that difficult?
No.
No, it wasn't?
It was not difficult.
Was it easy?
It was easy.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Sweet. So, so that was 30 minutes, or no?
Yeah, 38 minutes.
38 minutes. 38 minutes. So we're gonna end up paying for 8 minutes of charging. Yeah, not bad. I think if we would have been at 10%, it would have added another maybe 10 minutes on there, just because, you know, charging curves and whatnot, and speed, charging rates, all that good jazz. But I'll insert all the screenshots from, you know, the different phases of charging in there that we were able to get. But yeah, so we're gonna disconnect and head home, and probably not do this till the next range test. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, but we're really more likely to use this spring and summer when we actually go on trips. So,
and there is a 10-minute grace period if you sit here. So if you, yeah. So to avoid it, they tell you on the app, like, to avoid fees for idling, you have 10 minutes.
Yep. Yep. Keeps you from spending too long inside eating or at Walmart or whatever you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get this unplugged. I will show you that now. Or do you want to do it?
I can do it.
All right, Rachel's gonna do it, and we'll just film her. All right, look at that. See, it lets you know your grace period. Boom. There is your summary. Not too bad. 56.35 kilowatt hours. All right, go ahead.
The light is green.
Yep,
So
on
it's
the
done.
Polestar 2, you gotta hit the unlock button. It's already unlocked, I think. And then you press the button and pull it out. Look at that. And then you return it. Look at that. Don't forget to close your battery cap. Put your cover back on. That was way too difficult. Was it too difficult?
It was extremely difficult.
All right, I get it. Well, guys, I was about to put up a couple videos yesterday, and I realized that I forgot to record or put any type of outro on there. So, if you have made it to the end of the Polestar 2 running errands and DC fast charging videos, please give me a subscribe, hit that like button, and you know what? If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button, because that feedback does help. But I do have to say I enjoy making these videos for you guys and gals. I think like 0.01% of the view hours I have been female, so that's like what, half of a female? Come on, ladies. You guys like cars too. I know this. But anyway, I'm on my way to work this morning, and I just needed to film this for y'all, so I didn't just end a video with nothing there. You know, they say you gotta have a call to action in your YouTube videos. Well, mine is keep commenting in the comment section, because it keeps me accountable for putting these videos out somewhat consistently and just putting videos out. I do appreciate it. So y'all keep doing some stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video.